If you're spending Mother's Day without your mum or you've lost a child, this special episode's for you. We're going to go through my story about becoming a mum without my mum and the powerful lessons it's left me.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Good Grief Couch.
Welcome, we're both here. I'm Calie.
I'm Ryan. And if you're joining us for the first time, you're in the right place and you're not alone in your grief.
Yeah, you're so welcome here. You are with a couple of grievers, just doing the grief thing.
And if you're returning, it's great to have you back. We just want to shout everyone out for rating the podcast. Lately, we've seen like a huge uptick in 5 stars and reviews.
Thank you so much.
It helps spread this message of hope to other people who are walking through this same journey of loss.
Absolutely.
So thank you. And if you haven't yet, maybe if you like this episode or if you like the previous one, jump on and rate the podcast. That'd be awesome.
It'd be so great. Yeah, we're so thankful and we couldn't do this without you guys.
We're going to be talking about Mother's Day on this episode. Huge day. And it's also a universal Mother's Day, like globally. I don't know if that always happens, but like Father's Day is like split up.
Father's Day split, and we're not sure if Mother's Day does get split or whether it's just this
US,
year.
UK, Oz, we know that are aligned.
Oh, we know. Oh,
yep.
okay.
I know.
You know.
I know.
I'm not sure still.
I've Googled it many times to make sure.
Each year it comes around, I'm like, is it? I'm not sure. Let's go with it.
So Mother's Day. So you might be listening to this and it is currently Mother's Day or it's just past, depending on where you're at. But we're going to be hearing Calie's story in just a moment and the lessons that you've learned. But there's just been so much going on that we've got to share.
We do have to share.
Last weekend was fun.
Yes. Or we did a little trip.
Nazare has been our daughter. She's 13 months old and learning by the day. And
we weren't going to say 13 months, were we?
No.
Guys, Ryan's been telling me off every time I say.
She's 1 year old. She's 1 year old. No,
every time I use months, he's like, she's 1.
I think it's when I hear like 27 and a half months, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even calculate what that is.
She's 1, guys. She just turned 1.
But she's just learning so constantly and it's just amazing.
The speed of light. Like every day, something new. It's crazy.
And Kaylee's been saying that she's been hungry for the word, meaning the Bible, because she's literally been picking up Kaylee's mum's Bible that is so treasured, and twice now she's chewed it up.
Twice. And the same page.
The same page.
Yeah. I did like...
What is it? What chapter is it?
It's like Genesis 12.
Yeah, so something about Genesis 12. So we thought it's time to get her own Bible.
Yeah. So we went to a Christian bookstore and we had to drive like 45 minutes to get there, and we got this amazing, gorgeous little... my first handy Bible. So it's got a little handle. That's why it's handy.
She can carry it around.
So she can carry it.
It's got a little clip
lock. So she doesn't just get into it and eat it, because I think she thinks tissue and cardboard is a food group at the moment. So this one's saved so far by the lock. Yeah. But we'll see how that goes. So
that was on Saturday last week.
Yeah.
Then what happened? I feel like Sunday
we had a rockin' church and we hung back with people, and then it was our anniversary.
That's right. Anniversary. I was like, something happened on Sunday.
There was something.
Yeah. So it was our 5th anniversary, May the 4th.
Yes.
Star Wars Day. And then Monday, we had the honor of meeting one of our club members, Sue, who she was on a workshop of ours maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Put her hand up and said, hey, I'd love to join in
the club.
On the club, because it just sounds amazing. And so she drove a few hours for some work, which happened to be somewhat close to us.
Because she's normally 4 hours away. So this time she was within an easy drive. Yeah.
And we caught up for coffee and breakfast, and it was a special morning.
It was so special. We got the brightest, the most bright-eyed, biggest happy face hug ever.
Yeah, she spotted us before we spotted her.
Yeah, it was so lovely. So yeah, we got to spend a good hour and a half with her and a friend who are working on a project and speaking into that, and just hearing her story and learning about her son Michael, who she lost. And so yeah, she's a mother, who's lost a child and is spending Mother's Day this weekend without him. I think it must be 2 Mother's Days.
Yes, because it's coming up 2 years for her.
Yeah.
And Sue's story was powerful. She is a qualified counsellor. She's been in that profession for some time. And she just said to us that, hey, how even though she walks people through all sorts of challenges and roadblocks in their own lives, she realized that for her own grief, she's not a grief counselor, but she realized for her own grief, she couldn't, self-manage that just because she was a counselor and does this for a job.
Yeah.
She actually realized she needed a space.
She needed her own space for her own grief.
And healing.
Yeah.
And hence why she's joined us in the club. And she said when she joined in the last couple of years, she joined other groups and all sorts of things, but none of them really cared and loved her the way that she said when she joined ours. She just said it felt like a warm hug.
Yeah. She said it felt like I walked into a room and just got hugged by everyone.
And literally knowing what a hug is like, it is a big warm hug. And so just hearing that just made our whole week.
Yeah, so beautiful. And it's not the first time that someone has described our club like that. So
totally.
Yeah, it's so lovely.
Yeah, and if you're hearing this and you're like, man,
I want that.
Yeah, Sue sounds incredible, and that's sort of where I am, whether you've lost a son or a mum or a spouse. Or come just join our community. It's free to join our community.
Yep. And then if you want more, you can upgrade to the club.
Yep.
But this month in May, we're calling it Meetup May because we're actually focusing on getting members connected, either in person or online.
Because we know that healing happens in connection.
Yes.
It does not happen in isolation.
Yeah.
It's unlike a physical injury where you sprain your ankle, you do need to sit and rest alone. Being in community with someone where you got a sprained ankle and walking, it's not going to help your ankle. But when you're going through grief and loss, walking with someone is going to far outweigh anything else in your journey for your healing process.
Yeah. And we don't just mean join a community. We mean join a community and connect. Because a lot of people can join a community, but they don't get anything out of it. You actually have to take the step to connect and get involved and lean in. And so that's what we're focusing on this month.
Totally.
And so Sue took the step to contact us to say, hey, I'm nearby. Can we make it work? And we did. And it was awesome. And she's posted that in the club. And we've got other women who are
meeting up
over. Online, in person. They're making plans already. And it's so exciting.
I think today maybe Shelley and Holly are having lunch up in like the East Coast of the US. Like they're just thinking there's calls scheduled in with different ladies all over the world. It's just amazing.
2 of our members, Germany and England, they caught up online. And so it's not too late if you want to join our community this month and get in there and get connected and meet some women, and you could find your forever grief buddy.
100%.
Yeah.
So the link's below the podcast, wherever you're watching or listening from. You can come join the community for free. That space is there for you to be loved upon. And then if you enjoy that, then, man, you're absolutely going to love our Good Grief Club. So we'll leave that there for you. I need to take a deep breath.
And I feel like we could stop there, but we got more to go.
We got a whole lot of goodness to come.
Yeah.
So as it is Mother's Day, Mother's Day comes with a whole bunch of different things. For some mothers, it's pancakes in bed. For other mums, it's tears before coffee. And for some, it's both.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. And so inside of our club, we actually pose the question to our members, what's one thing that your mum or your child has left you with that still lives on today? And I just wanted to read a few of these.
Yeah,
if that's
please.
Cool with you. Because they're coming in thick and hot. Christina said, Mum taught me to take up my cross daily and follow him. Beautiful. Alison said, Mum used to tell me, I'm okay, Al. And so she said, I'll channel that this weekend. Nicole said, my mum taught me how to love and be loved and created a model for the standard I want to achieve as a mother to my own daughter. How good's that? Vanessa said, if I could love others half as much as my mum did, she really loved Jesus and really loved like Jesus, should I say.
Oh.
Love that, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Oh, Tammy. She said, my mum's signature on all emails was, life is not measured by the breaths you take. It's measured by the moments that take your breath away. No matter how big or small, the beauty of it is. I love that. I'm not going to mention it. You can mention it because people are listening. They don't know what's going on.
Oh, guys, it's cracked.
What's cracked?
The damn wall of my eyeballs.
Your eyes are sweating.
Yeah, they're perspiring.
I just want to read a few more. These are so special. Jojo said, "My mum taught me everything, and she's been gone 3 months today." Barb, "My mum taught me to be a good person and to love Jesus." I love that. Lots of lessons about how to love. Brandy said, "My mum taught me to be respectful of myself and others. She taught me so much." Just so powerful. And so for everyone inside of our club, we want to honor you and your mums and your children and your stories as well. So I'm also here to honor your story.
Yeah.
And for those who haven't heard your journey of losing mum, just walk us through that.
Yeah. So it's been 13 years now. We got the news that mum had breast cancer and I was 17. Mum was, I don't even know. I can't even do the math. She must have been like 41 or something. So like so young. And she went on a health journey. I literally think it was about 12 months and she got the all clear.
Wow.
Yeah. I was 21, traveling around the world, and as I was contacting mum, I knew that she was having some back pain and going to different specialists to try and get answers. And she probably spent 12 months going to maybe 10 different specialists, and not one in that 12 months suggested an MRI, knowing her history of breast cancer the first time. So we say we lost mum that year in that 12 months. Following on from that, it was probably another 4-year journey because she had tumors that had started growing up her spine. So I think she had 3 tumors on her spinal cord. Eventually she lost the feeling in her legs and she was bedbound. We had a hospice bed at home. And then it was 6 weeks before my eldest brother's wedding. Dad was working in Papua New Guinea, so he was actually out of the country at the time. And it was a Friday. I left work early because I got the call from my auntie. Mum had gone into hospital, which she'd done many times, gone in and out, had, little spurts, and then gone for a couple of days, come out again. But this time felt different. And there I was in the hallway with some of my, uncles and aunties and my brothers there. But I was down the end of the hallway with my pastor, Sue, at the time. And I was saying, "Sue, I don't know whether I'm to be still praying for the miracle," which we were this whole time, this whole journey, which was about 7 years now. And don't know whether to still keep praying for the miracle or to let her go. She was obviously in a bit of pain there. By this stage, she was on morphine and I hadn't properly said goodbye. But she was still conscious. So she said, "Can you do both?" And so that question rocked me, but shaped me in that moment at the same time. And so didn't know at that moment that it was within mum's final hour. They said she might not last the weekend, but she passed around 5 p.m. on Friday and took her last breath while we were out of the room, but we'd actually laid by her and told her it was okay to go and released her. So she left when we were out of the room, and I think I came to realize that she got a miracle in that moment. And it just wasn't this side of eternity. But she's now dancing with Jesus on the streets of gold with her mum and our baby.
Oh, man.
Hope you understood that, everyone.
I didn't think I'd, necessarily need the tissues on my side as well. But so I guess there are things, we were just talking about before the podcast that I didn't even, we're still learning so much 13 years later. And it goes to show how grief comes with us. We don't lose someone and that grief is a period of time and we move forward. It really does come with us and it transforms. Right now we might be, feeling that suffocation of grief where tears are flowing and breathlessness is short. But we've changed so much. You've changed so much and you've grown so much, which I really want to ask you about. But just tell us the history of your mum and her mum and sort of how that all aligns with where we are today, Mother's Day 2025.
Yeah, so my mum's mum, she was French Algerian, so Spanish, French, and she met my grandfather in the war and led him to Jesus and had my mum and my auntie over there in France, and she actually was going through her own cancer journey not long after my mum was born, and she passed away, and then they moved to Australia when my mum was young, like 4, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, so she grew up without her own mum, became a mum without her mum. And then I lost my mum and have become a mum without my mum.
Yeah,
so we just spoke that out earlier and just realizing that.
But had you realized that? Like, had you thought about that? I hadn't realized that.
Right.
Or maybe I had and I've forgotten it, but
I have these moments where I think about it like, wow, at the time when mum was raising us, I didn't really think about it. You're just like, mums know everything. You go to mum for everything.
Yeah,
and
that's so true.
It's mum. She's just doing her thing, being a mum. But now sitting here, raising our daughter and going, man, I wish I had my mum to call upon. Like, yes, I have your mum, but I don't have my mum to ask things like, how did you do that when I was growing up and whatever. And so now realizing that I'm here and I can't ask her. And then she raised 4 of us doing exactly the same thing, but I had my mum for longer. So I had my mum till I was 24. She didn't really even really know her mum.
Yeah. So how many times she would have had those questions? If only I could ask mum.
Yeah.
So who have you so far, I'm curious, in the first year of our bub's life, who have you lent on? You mentioned my mum, but who are some of the other women that you've lent on as mother figures?
Yeah, there's a bunch of beautiful women in our church. There's Joy, there's Mandy, there's Sal, Sandra. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Even my auntie, because although she hasn't been able to have her own kids, my mum said, love my kids like your own. And so she was, there for a lot of our childhood. So
totally.
Yeah.
I think that's really powerful, right? That we've got mentors and mother and father figures to lean on. And I think that's a big part of going through grief. No matter who you've lost, you can find someone physically, but also spiritually that can help walk that journey with you and that have walked those roads before you.
Absolutely.
As well. Many of those women you just mentioned have lost mums.
Yeah.
And so they understand and they are mums.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that community would be able to raise you up as a mighty mum.
Yeah. We talk about it often, but you and I both find so much value in leaning on people who have gone before us. And if you're not doing that in your life, I highly recommend leaning into that.
To put it simply, it's naive not to lean on somebody else who's walked the journey before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To think you can just get it from people your own age and that.
Or just to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like how and
it's like anything. How do you learn anything if you don't know what to do? You obviously you go to someone who's an expert or who's done it before or you go to YouTube now or whatever, but it's someone telling you how to do it or what they did or what not to do. So why wouldn't you do that in life?
Yeah, and man, I'm guilty. Like there's been tons of things that I thought I knew better and I knew the way and I'll figure this out. But it took me 10 times as long. It cost me 10 times more. It hurt 10 times deeper. And then I turn around and go, Ryan, you're an idiot. Like, just ask somebody who's done it.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Just lay your pride aside and let's just ask someone.
Okay, so coming back to your mum, Claudette, I want to know.
And so mum was very good at that. She was very good at asking for help, at leaning in, at educating herself, because obviously she didn't have her mum there to ask things, to look back on, or I remember mum doing this or mum said this. You know, she didn't have that.
For sure.
She didn't have that like I did. I had 20 extra years than her of leaning on my mum and gleaning from what she taught me and her pouring into my life. So she had to go self-educate. She had to go educate herself. She had to, go find programs, go to conferences, do courses and read books and things.
So I think that's exactly what my question was going to lean into.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to ask you, what did she teach you about parenting, but about life as well? And so part of that you've just answered, that she's taught you in what you witnessed in terms of asking, being humble in saying, I don't know it all, seeking out support and help in different areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what about parenting? Like what did she teach you in parenting? Even though, you're 17 and 21 and, that's not when you're really thinking about parenting.
No.
But what did she teach you?
I mean, she's still teaching me stuff now as I look back.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
What's she teaching you now as you look back?
Well, now that I am a mum and doing it, and I've been in it for a year now, I can just imagine, like she did it 4 times over, and
4 kids.
Yeah, and it's such a selfless journey. Like you have to lay things aside to be able to do things for your kids. So I can just imagine her doing that, and she did it like from overseas, away from any family.
Yeah, you were born in St. Louis.
Yeah, so like she took you
already had a 2-year-old brother or whatever.
Yeah, we're 15 months apart, so that was really close. And she's doing it with 2 young kids with no support.
In a country that's not her own.
In a country that's not her own, without being able to call up her mum for advice.
And just being such a wonderful, supportive, loving wife to your dad, who it was his career that they were following around the world in the Air Force. And so, I've understood a piece of that when we met and you jumped into business with me. That was my business and that I'd built and had nothing to do with you or your passions or desires before Good Grief and before what we're doing now. But just to see you come so humbly and submit to that mission that I was on, that's like what your mum did for your dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I left costuming for film and TV and jumped in business with you.
But hey, let's be real about film and TV.
It's inconsistent, but
they don't treat you the best. Come on, let's be honest.
It's long hours and stuff, but it's creative and a lot of fun.
So good. And now you're my boss. A lot. Now you're the boss. So. I want to know, how do you see her in you? How do you see your mum in you?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, there's different ways I could answer that. I think if you've been listening to us for a while, you know that my laughs are starting to, turn into hers, and I will.
Isn't that crazy?
Mix up things like she does.
Isn't that crazy? You haven't heard her laugh in 13 years.
But mine, I'm becoming like hers more and more.
That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy, actually, when you think about it. I think her resilience I think I have that in me, like, you know, no matter what's happening in our situation or with you, I'll just, you know, hold on. She was just always positive. Like, I don't think you ever saw her, you know, have a bad day. And I think I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think I have that. I don't think I often
I'd
have a bad day.
No, I'd say you have bad moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see them turn or unfold or unpack into bad days.
Yeah.
It's a super quality. And that's not to say you're not allowed to have bad days or that people should strive not to. I think it's really healthy to have bad days because it's only when we have bad days do we realize the good ones. It's only when we have the rain do we realize the sunshine. It's only when we have the cold do we realize the warmth. It's only when we feel lonely do we realize what true connection is like. And so we're not here to sugarcoat saying that 7 days out of 7 have to be great.
Yeah.
I think it's important to be vulnerable and open and aware, self-aware, to know that today's just been a bit of a write-off. I'm grateful that I've still got a roof over my head. I've still got a wife that loves me. I still had food on my plate. But tomorrow I'm going to try again.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, you know, whatever was going on, she always chose to keep things positive for us too, I think, just so that we didn't ever worry. Like, you know, as kids, you figure out later that your parents were going through stuff, or actually that was probably really hard for my parents at that time, but we didn't feel anything. We didn't know about it at the time. Yeah. Life seemed great.
And that won't be, I mean, let me rewind. I was going to say that won't be any different for our kids, but I think we do have the power to change that. I think there's healthiness in sharing some of the struggle.
Yeah.
As well as knowing what to protect them from. And I think that both our parents were on that journey, but I think the world that we live in now, there's so much more awareness around different mental health habits and ways of sharing things that are healthy as well.
Yeah.
So I commend our parents for protecting us from the stuff that they walked through, for sure. And generationally, like different generational stuff.
Yeah,
that we haven't had to face.
Yeah, I mean, my mum had a rough childhood, but she made a decision when she got married, or probably even before that when I get married and start a family, I'm going to do whatever I can to have the best upbringing for my kids. Like, I don't want them to go through what I went through.
For sure. And both our parents are immigrants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just another interesting part of things.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to know, how has losing her made you a stronger woman?
I guess it's made me lean into God more. It's made me realize how important that is, and how much I saw Mum do it, and just even seeing her spend time with God, although I wasn't there having a conversation with her or whatever while she was doing it, but just seeing her knowing she was spending time with God has just subliminally, did I say that right? Subliminally made it a checkpoint in my brain that, like, that is something I need to do. That is something I need to work on daily. And so that's strengthened my faith and what I need to do there. But also, it's made me more compassionate. It's made me, I think, love deeper, and I guess just cherish those that I still have here. And I don't like to hold grudges. I don't like to have things undealt with. So as best I can, to my ability, I like to deal with things and not have them swept under the rug and move on and get on with it.
Well, it's kind of like, you don't want to have those things gripping your life, because life is meant to be lived and we're meant to love. And if those things are holding us back from that, let's just deal with those.
Yeah.
So that we can get back to loving each other.
Yeah.
And having fun and laughing, and not laughing half-heartedly because you're holding on to something.
Yeah. Mum was good at forgiving. Yeah.
That's an art and a practice.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want Nazare to know about your mum as she grows up?
Wow. I wish I'd started writing things down about my mum earlier, because things get lost in the grief brain. So I wish I'd done that sooner. So if you haven't done that and you're earlier on the journey than me, please start that for me. Your future self will thank you. I want her to know the foundation she laid for her, years before she was even a thought. Like, what my mum did for our family, having gone what she'd gone through. All the time, all the education, all the things she did to make sure we were raised in a healthy home, a faith-filled home, with good values and respect and loving each other, knowing how to forgive and move on, knowing how to play with each other, how to talk to people intergenerationally. I want her to know that was, what my mum and dad did for us. Yeah.
Nice.
There's so much more, but I'll leave that there.
I was going to say nice, including Dad as well. He's a part of the picture.
Shout out to Dad.
Yeah. Well, this has been really special to me. I'm grateful I get to sit in on this conversation because I learn a lot every time we unpack and pull apart the deeper things like this. But I just want to honor you as well. Seeing you grow over the last year as a mum and as a wife, but all of the unseen things that don't go unnoticed, because I come down, I'm like, oh, that's tidy and that's prepared and that's ready, and there's no way that I could have done those things while doing other things. I just want to honor you, and for the way that you're raising our daughter is just a real joy to be around and to watch, and it's inspirational. So I want to honor you.
Thanks.
And we want to honor all the women,
yes,
and men, but everyone tuning into this podcast who's lost someone. And whether it's Mother's Day, that's a big milestone for you, or it's just another day in the journey of grief, we want to honor you and let you know that we're praying for you and we love you. And maybe you could finish with prayer.
Yeah. I just want to thank everyone who's crying with me right now.
Totally.
Sorry for making you cry if you're driving or out in public or in the shopping mall or whatever. Yeah. I cry with you guys too. So thank you for being here and listening and coming on the journey with me and with us. Oh, can I just blow my nose?
You can.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, would you pray for everyone?
Yeah. Oh, Lord, just thank you so much for everyone who's coming on this journey with us. And I just want to honor everyone who's lost a mom, who is a mom, who's tried to be a mom, who's lost a child. Lord, anyone who's an auntie, who's a mother figure, who's stepping in, who's a foster mom, it's got to
or who's an orphan, Lord. Like, I just want to bless every one of these people under the sound of my voice. And Lord, I just thank you that you are going to cover them with love on this Mother's Day. You're going to give them strength and remind them of the joyful moments that they've had, Lord. I just thank you that you're doing works in our hearts and that we're leaning into you. We're leaning into community for our own healing, Lord. I just thank you that you're a good God. And although we don't see the bigger picture, you are sovereign and you have a plan in all of this, and you will not waste any tear and you will not waste any story, and you will use each and every one of our stories to help someone else, to make an impact, to shift atmospheres, whatever it is, Lord. I just thank you for what you'll do through each and every one of our stories. I just bless and honor these mothers, mother figures, and children and daughters, all of those things, Lord. I just thank you for everyone who's here and who's learning from this and leaning into you. As they lean into you more, they find you and they find their community and they find support. In your name, amen.
Amen. Thanks for praying. Thanks for joining us. Pray this has blessed you.
Yeah.
If you want to come join our community, feel less alone, feel more connected with others that are walking the journey alongside you, come and join our Good Grief community full of women all over the world. Links below, wherever you're watching or listening from. Until next time, big love from both of us.
Big love. Bye.